All right. So this is just the control panel. It doesn't show me chat information or anything. Unable to add stream marker, share, switch accounts. So this is pretty worthless. It does look like I'm live again though. Oh, maybe the dashboard will, no. Huh. That's not showing me my current live stream. It's just offering to go live, which I think I already am. Oh, oh, uh-oh. Nope. Oh, yeah. Look at that. So now I do see chat. Interesting. All right. Hi. Green Goblin, Pinky Goblin, Pinky Elf thing, Pinky Fae thing of some sort. Huh. Interesting. All right. Well, I was trying to figure out how I can share this. Add stream marker. Dum. What did I just do? Ah, I see. Analytics, streaming settings. I gotcha. Here we go. So let's see if I hit copy on that. I don't understand live streams when people just pop up and they're ready to go. Anyway, don't know what I'm gonna do. I got where's the hands at? What did I do? Got a set of hands I need to paint with some flesh tones, with some reds. I thought they were here. Oh, and oh, here they are. Cat just heard me. Oh, I can paint them and then drill them out. Hold on, buddy. What do you want? So yeah, back to this. No idea how people are ready to just go live. Nope. Because for me, I'm like, I have to share a couple of posts, but then people are just like, boom, ready to go. Also, if anybody watches this later, is it really important to have my stupid face showing somewhere? I mean, technically, I gotta do a third camera showing my mug and slap it up in the top right corner or something silly. Whoa, I just saw that. I just saw that Facebook just decided to tag something that I didn't tag just because it was a word. Idiots. Uh, no idea. I think I'm going to try and get comfortable with doing live streams and other stuff over here on YouTube. I usually upload edited, slightly edited, tiny edited videos on here, but I don't think I think I've done one live, maybe. Uh, and I wasn't really set tonight to do a live sculpt. I didn't have any plans, uh, but I think we'll figure something out. This guy needs a tiny bit of detailing, and I need to clean up his eyelids. This guy needs. I need to figure out if I want to do what I want to do with the monster clay sculpt. So, all right. I shared it on a couple of spots. And now I'm going to go back to the software. I see. Can I minimize this? Ooh, 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 doo, 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 doo. So I just see the chat. Eh, it won't let me totally get rid of that. But anyway, at least I can now see my live feed versus the other feed. So what have we got here? This guy's hands and feet got glued in place. I'm using E6000. I just glued it with a, what are we, Tuesday? We're only Tuesday. So I think these got glued Monday. So I really don't want to fart around with these. I really want to let the E6000 sit and fully cure for like 3 days before I start moving this guy around. So we're going to move this green guy out of the way. This guy's hands got glued just the other day. This is kind of human proportion armature. I don't know if I should make these. Oh, let's see. Let's move this up a little. There we go. I'm not sure if I should change the proportions, like make this a little shorter, legs longer, legs shorter, that, the same, just to make them look a little goofier. This is also fairly new glued, so I don't want to mess with it. And nobody pay attention to the different shade hands to face. I did not screw up. Nope, not at all. I did. I put these in the dunk tank. I didn't want to put these in the dunk tank because this face didn't get put in the dunk tank. I just wanted to add some reds to these hands. That is why I have these new hands to go with this body. Because this guy also didn't get put in the dunk tank. How do I get better light over here? This guy didn't get put in the dunk tank either. So these hands, after I use a red sponge on it, will match up with this. Then I might do a little bit of burn umber on it. But my dunk tank's a little different colored right now. So anyway, now I got two pairs of hands over here that are also that color. So I need to make a face that I'll use these hands with. I really don't have one right now. I also have to choose the boots for this guy. I think I'm going to go with these bigger boots for him. And these are going to get glued in place with the 6000 also. But it'll give it, a little posability. Not a true ankle since the ankle is down here, but, and I'm not going to glue these probably till tomorrow because these hands, I want another 24 hours of gluing. And then he needs to get wrapped in fiberfill. I'm using stuff you use on furniture. But, so that's him. I do have these other shoes. I don't know, what do you think? Where's that camera? So we do slipper looking shoe or big boot. I'm going toward big boot. Yeah, we'll worry about that tomorrow. We're going to move him aside also. All the shoes are basically the same size. And I have a mold that I made. The masters were done in gray, medium grade Sculpey. And I made a mold. These are resin castings. So, and this guy, I need to make a body for him. Hey, Monica. Yellow tipped ones. I just tossed them away. Are you talking to boots? These guys? Bigger boot? Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that. All right. And then this guy. Oh, and I also did an experimental hat over the weekend. Oh, actually, you know what? It works pretty good on this one. Oh, it might get used with him. I made it for green guy. At least I was sizing it with him. But it didn't really stay on his head very well. I mean, I could glue it in place, but we'll see. I think it'll work on this guy's head a little bit better. We'll see. It's been a while since I've made clothing, and since I do everything by hand, it takes me a long time because... All right, that's probably what I'm going to end up going with, Monica. These guys. Kind of did the brown paint on the back, like there was an extra heel support on that one. And then they're green because I used green resin pour when I did these. And I just did some brown dry brush over top, and they did get put in the dunk tank also. All right, move that out of the way. Let's place him delicately over here. He's going to need a set of hands, which are probably going to be these. And I need to make about 2 more body armatures. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow night. It takes about an hour to make a body armature. And this is the wire I use. I don't remember the gauge. I could do a millimeter. What do we got there? 1, 2, 3. It's about 3.5 millimeters. Gauge is probably better though. But it's a thicker armature wire that you get. Usually at a hobby store they'll have 2 sizes. Normally a craft store or a hobby store will have 2 sizes of armature wire. It's usually this size. I'm trying to see the other one. I have the other one here somewhere in my pile. Oh crap. I don't see it. But, and then the stuff I use for these hands to make the armatures for fingers and hands and stuff is it's a 27 gauge wire. I just got a little bit more. No, I already glued green guy's shoes. His are here. They're kind of black. And then I sculpted these to look like they're tied tight around the ankle, well above the ankle. But all right, what do we have? This is the little baby face I did over the weekend. I'm still not 100% sold on it. I'm basically going to be doing a, see if it comes into focus. There we go. I'm going to be doing actually like a sleeping baby fae inside of there's going to be kind of a leaf sleeping bag that'll be inside of. And I'm trying to decide if I'm going to make it more fairy-like fae or goblinoid looking fae, kind of like that guy or the other goblins, you know, the two I just showed you guys. Boop. Or even this guy, one of my mug puppets. Could be a sleeping baby version of him. We'll see. But that's what the plan is for these heads. I sculpted 4 or 5 this weekend, and they all I am in Cleveland, Ohio. Not like saying Cleveland, Ohio, outside of Cleveland, Ohio. Uh, Cleveland, Ohio, on the west side. So it's 10 degrees out. Actually, I think it's 2 now, without the wind chill. When you say you want to try and do something with wire, you mean like as an armature, or I'm trying to figure out what we should do here. Maybe we'll finish this guy off and get him at 100%. Sounds like we got a dog upstairs looking for. Nope, they're not at the door. Ah, I used to have some stuff in Fort Wayne at Faye's Cabinet. Travis's shop over there. Well, Faye's shop over there. I think I was at 8 on my ride home from the 9 to 5. It's back down to like 1 without the wind chill. All right, I'm gonna get out some of the new texture things that I bought. This out. Kind of digging these things. I've had these texture balls for about a year. And somebody in a sculpting group started to produce these. So I've been messing about with trying to see how much I'm going to like using them. So far, I've kind of liked it. And then this is just a wheel from a Dremel, a sanding Dremel. Well, a sanding bit for a Dremel. Let's see if we get it focus. So I have 2 different ones of these in my little tool drawer, and I use those to texturize also on smaller things. Like if I was doing a life-size hand, I've got some other tools and methods for doing pores and stuff on that. But if I'm trying to do a texture or a pore-like finish on an art doll, since I seem to try to overdo it, I found that the texture of sandpaper, like a high grit, or I should say a low grit sandpaper, works really well. All right, I'm trying to, there we go. Got you. I don't see my other sanding wheel in here. I know I used it. It might already be in my cluster mess of it. Oh, yeah, it is. Oh, it is. This is a little lower, so the grains are a little bigger. And I really can just run it over. Like this Sculpey is soft enough to where it'll take this texture. I also have used the corner pieces to kind of do wrinkles in the skin. Oh. That. Where the forehead wrinkles. Might add a little more. There's a, when I'm reading your comment about the wire, there's an artist, if you look up wire fairies, I can't remember his name off the top of my head because I'm horrible with remembering things. But he does wire, like really large wire sculptures of fairies and smaller ones, and he sells kits. They're very cool. I've always wanted to try and buy one of his kits because it comes with all the wire. I think it comes with a wire cutter even, if I remember right. It might not, but it comes with all the wire and the instructions on, his method and how he does it. You might want to try and check out what he does. So I'm just going over my polymer clay with my sanding wheel, to bring in that grit into texture on the model. This Sculpey is fairly new, so it's got a good amount of oil in it. So it will take a tap with a tool and take a texture pretty easy right now. The monster clay I use, like this guy back here, that's monster clay hard. There's soft, medium, hard now. And the hard, you can kind of tap it and tool's not gonna sink into the material. It's kind of cool. Yeah, I know I follow him on Facebook, I think. But look up fairy wire statues or models, or I'm sure Google will come back with his stuff. All right, we're going to use this over here. I could actually use these little texture wheels. She had about 4 or 5 kits and 3 different textures in each kit. I've been using mostly this rocky one. This one's got little pores in it. I've been using this one also. It's got a more skin texture look. It's kind of cool. So, oh, let's get that off the floor. Oh yeah, it might be fantasy wire. I'm kind of digging this textured one. I have a lot of layers of different textures going on with the model right now. So, that's actually kind of a neat one. I haven't used this one before. I've really been using the little pores, and then this is one a little more rocky. I don't know how much of the textures are showing up. I probably should get a bigger, brighter LED over this instead of my old work desk lamp. So we are going to need to do a little work on the eyelids that I did. What did I do those? I think I did those Sunday. And we might add some more random dots. And if you see me put this piece of foam, or not foam, piece of plastic over top of the model, it deadens the sharpness of your lines. And also, like, if I poke these in to add some little dots into the skin, they're not going to be as harsh. This is really good for when you're doing human-sized heads and hands and larger things. For the smaller art dolls, the dots might be a little, some random ones are good, but if you overdo it, they're really going to stand out. Fantasy Wire. That is his name. It is. It is. All right. So now, let's see. Bring this closer to here. You can see I put material in for the eyelids. I think I did this Sunday. Just moving stuff from one side to the other. But I really didn't smooth it out a lot. I kind of just got it placed and shaped a little bit, but I didn't. Yeah, he's in the UK, but it was really, I did order a kit, but I lost it. It's got to be in the house somewhere. It didn't take very long to get it. Yeah, he's in the UK. He's a British gentleman. About a year or so ago, he was one of the people that had the Chinese bot companies posting fake ads with all of his graphics and with fake links to sites to try and get people to buy. That was probably about 2 years ago. All right, now I'm trying to match up my eyelids. Need to do that to the lower lids too. That's not bad. All right. That little noise is usually my surprised it worked noise. That worked. All right, let's see. Need to soften this a little bit. All right. He looks pretty good. We're going to do a couple of lines on his lips. Maybe we'll cover his face in plastic to do these lines. Basically just doing some random lines like we all kind of have on our lips. It looks like I should put a couple over there. Let's add one over here. One more kind of there. See if those show up for you guys. Yeah. All right. I think he's pretty good. When I did this face, I wasn't sure I was gonna stick with it, but I'm not minding it. It's a pretty good skin pattern on this one. I'm gonna try and layer it though, because I don't want it to look too nice. And this little rocky one is good at messing it up. All right. So maybe we'll do another little Fey face. Let's see. Tiny little. Yeah, this is a polymer clay. This is actually living doll. So it's slightly translucent compared to the regular beige Sculpey. Uh, and this face is made out of the same material. This is the same as this, except I have done sponge layering with red paint all over this to bring out like the lips and add warmth to the ears, eyebrows. And then after I did that, I did a really watered down wash of burnt umber over top of this guy. So this guy will get that treatment afterwards. Trying to see. I don't think I have anything else around here right now that's painted flesh tone. Oh, let's move him. I could do this guy, but that would require a heat gun and would make loud noises. I need to do bark textures to this. The monster clay, the brown guy. Let's see. Let me get him on a shelf safely away from me. This is monster clay also. This is a little softer monster clay. I think this is medium. It's not quite the soft grade, but I made a mistake a couple years ago and I mixed the hard and the soft in a crock pot together. And well, I made my own medium, which I think is what this one's made out of. But so this is the monster clay. This guy will not harden or anything, and the hard I usually will warm up with my fingers. The soft you don't have to bother doing that, but then the soft, you if this happened with the soft, that ear would be flattened. So like the soft is, I don't like it that much because it's too soft for me because I'm a klutz. Completed, finished, one, what? Which figure? Oh, I forgot I started this head. Guess we'll just work on this. I have a completed Woodland Elemental Bobcat pedestal and Jackrabbit Elemental pedestal. But if you are talking about art dolls, no, they've all been sold and I haven't been making them. So this year for shows, I'm trying to get 4 or 5 to take to shows with me. So that's why I'm kind of on the art doll kick right now. Oh, you mean like the art doll, this guy? No, I don't have any fully clothed anymore. I think if you go to my uh, my artist page over on Facebook and look through all of my many photos, you'll probably see a couple in there. But I want to say 3 years ago at Dragon Con, all the ones I brought I sold. I don't think I don't even have any of my little Cyclopses anymore. Nope. Just looking around my cluttered shelves. I do have these guys sitting around in the basement. It's my Woodland Elemental Bobcat on pedestal sculpt. So this is a bark finish on it. Yeah, it's fiberfill from for furniture. So it's a thin fiberfill. I think I just cut a bunch to do his body yesterday. yesterday? No, Sunday. So I just cut it into strips and wrap it. And then if there's an area where I need to add some, like if I'm trying to make something have a little bit of a belly, I'll add a little filler. Yeah, I've been on a woodland elemental kick. I've got the bobcat, the jackrabbit. What else? I have a bunch of one-of-a-kinds, little uh, 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 chipmunks, squirrel, stuff like that. Um, and then I have this head that I was going to do for this year, but I'm going to put it off. This is a monster clay sculpt. It's got the bark look under here, and all these little dots, all these little pores around this. It's because this is going to be covered in fur, grass-like looking fur, and since this is near the edge of where the fur is getting attached, I put pores all around there so that pores will show up underneath the grass. And these are sculpted like a bark feel, so they'll be brown and dry brushed and stuff. These are going to be solid painted. I'm not going to be doing any eye inserts on this. We'll see if I get him molded and sculpted. I did do my, I did a, oh, my stuff is back here. My version of a three-eyed raven. And I'm going to do a full-size one, but I just did the head sculpt. So it's my version of a three-eyed raven. So this was done to look like the cap on an acorn. So it turned out pretty cool. See how those do at the Viking Festival this year. I don't know if I had them done for the Viking Festival last year. All right, so let's do this tiny little head. I started to do this camera back here, kind of over my shoulder. I used to do a camera right up overhead where the brain is at. And I have that one on the side. So I'm not, I think this angle is better than an overhead angle. All right, let's see. Let's look for some sculpting tools. Find my old reliables. That one. Oop, there's the other one, I think. Nope, you thought wrong. There it is. And what did I do with that little box? This is Monster Clay Hard. So, yeah, this face was the 5th attempt on doing a kind of cherubic baby face sleeving. Once my hands get used to doing something, it's hard to make them start going back to doing something else. So I just kept sculpting and destroying it and sculpting again. This head is, I don't like those eyes. They look too big to me. Let's see here. Yeah, we're gonna swap these out. These always make the face too large. And already this face is the same size as this one. And I was thinking I needed to make something even smaller. So, oh, thank you. My acorn texture was kind of a pain. All right, I think I'm gonna thin this out. I'm just gonna hack and slash it. I want to try and make a face a little smaller than that last one. So we'll keep that chin there. There. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna just use these cabochons for eyes. Okay, let's see what happens with this face. All right. Let's decide if I do a big nose on him like that. It's weird how I can't get that to focus. Doesn't like that close. All right. Let's see what we do here. When I came downstairs earlier, my basement walls on two sides are basically above ground. Front of the house is your typical basement height from the ground. You know, what would you consider a typical basement? 3/4. But so anyway, when it's cold, this basement becomes very chilly because the back and the side that my studio here is on gets cold. So we have a natural gas heater down here. Problem is that it's set a number. So the number 3 set today means it's going to be it was in the upper 60s when I came down here earlier. But when it's 30 degrees or 40 degrees outside and you set it to 3, it's going to be overheated. So I got to constantly adjust it. I raised it when I got down here because it was chilly. But now, you know, in 3 days when the temperatures go back into the upper 20s and 30s, I'm going to have to lower it again. I'm glad they had a natural gas line over here when we got the house, especially since all of my silicone wants it to be 71. Silicone and resin doesn't like the cold. All right, I've been just pushing the clay around, readjusting stuff. I think I am gonna do a big nose on it, but we'll see. I think I am. Might as well just attach it. Give it a little bit of a attachment on the top and bottom. So so I don't knock it off. There we go. I still do want to make this look cherubic, like a little baby cherub. So I do want the face to be a little pudgier, a little baby-like. So I think I took a lot away. Uh, all right, let's add some material for the upper and lower jaw. My thought on this is that these would not be, since I'm doing them in monster clay, I would do molds and cast and hand paint, and also hand make the leaves out of foam clay, like I do with the leaves for my mummified fairies. I think I got a box of mummified fairy wings somewhere. It's various leaf patterns that I have. Still looks too big. What time do we have? 8:50. It's better. A little material for upper lip. And what is that? And a little material here. All right. We're gonna have to add more to the top, but we're gonna circle the eyes first. Ah, my dulcet tones. I find I zone out sometimes and quit talking when I'm doing a live sculpt, which is probably better suited for when you're gonna record your sculpt and then edit it out and make everything move 3 times or 4 times the speed. But and I also normally uh, play music while I'm sculpting, but none of the streamers are thrilled with that idea because of copyrights, musical licensing. But I have found out that I wear a Shocks headphones, which the speakers are on in front of your ear, more toward your temple, because I got some hearing loss. And the shocks will bypass all that. But I found that if I play music with this directional mic right in front of my face, I can hear the music, and the mic doesn't necessarily pick it up that well. It's usually pretty shallow, so you can't really. Or so I've been told from some others. All right, so these little balls I'm rolling out into little teardrop or ice cream cone shapes are gonna wrap around the eye. Like that. And like that. I think this one's a little longer. Yeah, matches up a little better. So after I do this, I'm gonna roll out some material and place it for kind of the cheek structure. Yeah, he's really gonna end up being about the same size. But I think I'm gonna try and get all the material laid out and smoothed out, and then we'll call it. So everything that I'm placing will get cleaned up a little bit. So let's do a little test here. Too big. There's somebody in the sculpting group that was kind of just trying to get started with sculpting and monster clay, and he had the right attitude. He was asking, he wasn't asking, he was asking for critical input from people, not, oh my God, that's amazing. You're doing great work. I mean, he was doing really good stuff for how long he'd been doing it. But he also knew that he was going to probably destroy what he was doing at the end of the week because he wanted to, keep working with stuff and perfecting it. Or let's see here. I need that to be up a little higher. So again, this is just, the way I work, I just lay all my material out, kind of like laying out what muscle mass. And then after I get all the material kind of in place, then I clean it up. Like I need to put some material here around the eyeball. Yeah, I have a tendency of working on something and then shelving it. I have a face that like this face is meant to be an art doll eventually. Uh, I have this one that is also in monster clay that I was originally made to be an art doll. But my plan is to do a mold, and these heads would be done in silicone, and then these little pieces here get stuck in the mold and create a socket to insert an eye this size into the head. Um, This was a totally different head. If you go to my Facebook artist page, the last image of this head is up there somewhere. It's probably one of the last monster clay heads I have in there. Uh, I decided I wanted to make something. It looked a lot like this one. It was very similar. I decided I wanted something that was different. And then when I did something different, I wasn't that happy with how it looked. It was bigger than I wanted it to be. It was bigger than the heads I showed earlier, the green head and the flesh tone little goblinoid head. Uh, it was it was too big. It wasn't going to work with the size of the shoes that I had made, and so it got cut to hell. And I basically, I think, kept the jawline. Oh no, I kept the ears. These ears were actually what were on it. I sliced them off and I resized them, but ended up repurposing the ears. I was like, well, those ears kind of turned out. I like the shape of them, so I reused them. But everything else on here totally redone. I need to do his eyelids and that kind of stuff. I'm trying to phase out Facebook. That's where I used to do my lives. I think I had another friend that had me do Twitch for a little while, but I figured since I started posting more stuff over the last year uh, on YouTube that I would just start doing my lives over here. And then I started a Blue Sky account, so I might fade out Instagram and Facebook and slowly fade them out, or we'll see. All right, this piece is just going to get stuck up on the head here. Fill in the forehead. And then, let's see here. That's what we got going on so far. I'd like to do these little heads in silicone. I think they'd be pretty cool. And if somebody actually touched them and they were soft, like skin, that'd be pretty cool. We'll see. All right. I think I'm going to start smoothing stuff out, and then we'll add the lips. So I think I'm going to add a couple of balls of clay on either side of above the cheek and below the eye area right there. We'll do that same thing right there. A lot of the showrunners for shows that I do are kind of more, I think, Facebook based. We'll see what happens over the next year. I know a lot of people are ticked off, so they want to say goodbye to Mark Zuckerberg's thing. But then Jen's son, I think it was last weekend, they had somebody over and they're both in their early mid-20s, and they were making fun of blue sky. I forgot what they said. Too millennial. Or it's very millennial or something like that. Darn kids. All right. I think gonna need to um, put a little material for the neck, and then we'll work on chin and lips. All right. He's looking a little like E.T. or Gollum right now. I think I might need to put a wall here. So it looks like this face is really super focused when I look at the left screen. All right. Let's start mucking about with lips. Kind of want it to be like about that big of a figure when I do it. Guess that's good. The little baby fae that I've seen have all been, fairies with little dragonfly type wings or stuff like that in little nests. So I'm trying to come up with my take on it. We'll see. What time do we have? 9:06. I think 9:30 might be my cutoff. All right, let's try and put some clay for an upper lip. That might be good. Just a little smaller. All right, let's see what we get with that. Probably, let's see here. Add a lower lip, and then we'll see about what we want to do with the chin. And we'll see. I actually just noticed that that eye is a little open wider. Let's see if he comes into focus. Boop, let's see here. Let's move this light down over this. See if that helps with the So yeah, this eye is a little open wider, and I kind of like that if I do open eyes. Make him look like he's squinting, like one eye, like he's kind of waking up. I think I'm gonna try and keep that. So when I do the eyelid on that one, it's gonna be almost closed all the way, and like squinting-ish on that eye. Oops, can't see. Blocking. So this eye would be a little squint. This eye would be kind of open all the way. I don't know. We'll see. I did destroy a whole bunch of models over the weekend just because I wasn't digging any of them. So we'll see what happens with this one. All right, so we got a little material for a lip on the lower side there. Now he looks a little crybaby-like with whatever I did there. I don't mind that either. Try and figure out about adding a little material for some chin action. Like right now, when you look at him sideways, he's got no chin. Which, I mean, I guess since he's a little goblin, it doesn't matter. He doesn't have to have a chin. Let's see. Let's roll out some material and place some in place for a chin and see if we like it. It's too big. How did you, if you're still there, Monica, I don't know where I can look on this to see if people are still there or not. How did you find it? Did I show up randomly on a YouTube list for someone that's gone live? Huh. Not sure I like that. I kind of liked it better without a chin, but we'll see. Oh, it says there's 3 people watching? Hmm. That's not bad. Oh, well, thank you for giving it a click. All right, so I don't mind the chin I just gave him. When you look at the profile though, this still looks weird. So I think eventually I'll probably do something with, which way am I looking? Probably do something different in here. We'll see. I'm gonna add a little tiny bit of clay here for like a bridge of the nose. I have no idea what I need to do to get more folks to start finding me on YouTube. That's too much clay. So I'm gonna have to try and figure that one out too. I did have a bunch of people on my artist page on Facebook give me a like today when I posted I was gonna start doing lives over here. All right, so that's just dropped into place for a bridge of his nose. Let's use the ball tool to kind of roll that out. And I did share the live I was doing today on Facebook, but I know how they block lots of stuff over there. I don't know if I like that. We'll give that a little bit of time to settle. So I'm gonna use my finger and push this down a little and lift that a little more. Continue to make this bigger. To try and do that squinty look. Do need to add a little, I think, make the cheeks a little oh, thank you for the subscription. I usually do this time of year, I'm usually doing a live once a week. And once my shows kick in during the year and Jen's kick in, it's a lot harder to do lives on the weekends, and I try to do them during the week like this, but it's usually Saturday or Sunday mornings I usually do most of my lives up until noon or 1. All right, I'm kind of just looking at this eyes right now and the face. I know I want to add material here and here to make the face a little softer, a little more baby-like. But it might, excuse me, I might add the ears. And I think the ears I gave on him, I think I might do longer ears on this one. I don't know. You do need to do nasal nostrils on this guy. We'll see. It's gonna need his little dent in his chin too. Little subtle details. Yeah, it's usually, I won't do those ones. I won't do Sunday or Saturday lives very often once our show season starts. I'll go back to weekdays for then. That's the other thing. I never know when is a good time to do lives for people to find you doing lives, if it matters. Ah, add the hashtags to the descriptions. See, I don't do the hashtags very well either. All right, just tapping out material to use for eyelids. Let's see here. So, oops, that didn't work. Let's move my finger. And I think this is going to be a little too big to use here, but we'll try. The eyelid took a little bit away. I might get rid of this eyelid on, what's that? That's the left eye? Or on this side. Takes a little bit away of the look I was thinking I wanted. Let's see what we do on this one. This one, the eyelid's going to be almost down all the way. Okay. So, hashtag live sculpting for me, and hashtag fantasy art, and hashtag goblin. All right. Let's see here. So this piece is going to get put on the eye here. All right, this might not be at all what I want. Actually, it looks like a fighter who got the hell beat out of him. Yeah. I could probably manipulate this a little bit though to get rid of that look. All right. I'm not sure any of that was noticeable, but this when I put this eyelid on this side, it really was drooping down and it made the eyeball look like it was swollen. All right. Gotta say, I'm not getting anything of what I want out of any of it. So let's see here. Well, that's a little bit more. Let's really just keep tweaking and changing and oh, that's a little better. I'm not hating that. Uh, this is where doing a live sculpt becomes a little bit of a pain in the butt. Wanting to bring this all the way up to like right there. Oh, that's this is about 6 inches from my face now. It's not horrible. Let's move that up that way. Yeah, it's a little better light for me this time. All right, it's not horrible. Oh yeah, that's much better. But I still don't, still not thrilled with this eye. What I did to this one. I need to keep tweaking this one until I'm a little happier. I think. Yeah, just that eyelid was making it not got rid of the look I was looking for. Really wanted this eye to appear to be open as wide as goblin-y possible. Like, what do we got here? Like that? I don't know. I'm going to think on this one. See, in focus when he's next to this guy. All right. I think before I go, I'm going to add some cheek material. See if I can make it a little pudgy, like a little pudgier, like that guy. Tiny bit. All right. Just put some material in place to make the cheeks look a little more cheeky, more kitty, more baby. Uh, we'll see. This one might stick around. I'm not totally hating what I concocted here. Maybe I'll rough out ear concept too right now. Let's see. I don't know if I should keep tiny little ears and come up with a, or make big ears. Let's see. If I do big, over exaggerated, pointy long ears, or stick with like what this one's ears are like. Oh, was my profile showing up? All right, let's see here. So this is kind of a little tinier. Oop, what do I got here? Looks like I have a hair here. Surprised Holden hasn't come down here and said hello. So do I go with the tiny ear or the big ear? Tiny ear. I'm gonna leave these sitting there like that and think about it. Also, think about the eye and see if I like the idea of the big eye and the sleepy eye. All right. So, do need to do bark texture on the little weasel guy, little gifty weasel. Or you can hold your ring. I did have a gentleman at Ohio Renaissance Festival. He bought one of my, I don't have eyes in this one. He bought one of my gift giver dragons to put at the kitchen sink so that when he's doing the dishes, it'll hold his ring. So I resculpted this guy to be able to do kind of the same thing. Somebody can put a precious stone or a precious ring. And the tail's not there because that's going to be a piece of armature wire. And it's going to be fur. Well, it's going to be some of the green fur I have, which looks kind of like grass. So, all right, one vote for the bigger ear. I'm not sold on that yet, but it could be because I want it to be fatter or skinnier. Yes, thank you very much for hanging out, Monica. Now you can maybe find some music while you're working. All right, I'm gonna pick up my keyboard and I'm gonna say goodnight. Have a good night. Thank you. It was a pleasure to chat with you, Monica, while I was working. Hopefully we'll get some others to join in as I keep doing this. Thanks again.